YouTube Nation, Mayfair TV, aka me TV, aka fuck what you heard, it's what you're hearing right now. You know, before I get started, I want to say, last week, man, that was a great week for me. I mean, seriously, a lot of people try to paint me like public enemy #1, but it was okay because, you know what? I just accept it, baby. I just embrace it. So the bad guy is back to give you a video game video. That's right, people. Thank you for watching this show. Thank you for sending me information. And you know how we get down, because it seems like every time I've taken a break or a week off from doing a video game video, companies just lose their mind. What the hell's going on? All right, and they're not just small fuck-ups. No, they're huge, gigantic fuck-ups. Like, they just don't care anymore. I don't understand it. But you video game fans are starting to put them in their place, and I like to see that. So let's get into this. You know how we start off with EA and their bullshit. Let's get into this, man. I'm telling you, we're going to get it in today. Now, let's get started. First off, EA pulls Battlefield 3 servers, so now you have to rent the servers. That's right. So all you gamers who bought Battlefield 3 and you were playing online for free, even though you signed their terms of service or whatever, they pulled the servers because they want you to rent servers now. Here's the thing. Since then, gamers had a fit about it, and you should be complaining about that. You just don't take away servers. I've never seen a company in my life try to pull this type of stunt. All right, but you gamers complained, and they brought back the servers. And then they try to give you all this BS excuse about what they were doing with them and how they want to try to do, they try to emulate a Call of Duty Elite type of style. No. It doesn't matter what your excuses are. You pulled those servers without letting anyone know. There was no warning. It was ridiculous. All right, gamers, you did right by complaining, and you put their backs against the wall, and they had to bring it back. That's what happened, regardless of their excuses. I'm proud to see that. But like I said, I never thought I would have seen a company try some type of tactics like that. And this is what happens when you give a company an inch. You know, you let them slide a little bit, and they take a mile. That's exactly what this is. But we're gonna keep going because EA, they come out and say that customers are afraid to cut out retail. That's right, your physical copies, because of the PSN hack. No, that's not the reason why. You have to understand, a lot of us are collectors, #1. #2, you have to understand, with all your rules with digital that you make up on the fly and can change anytime you want, because you want control, DRM, always online, you want to spy on our hardware, you want all these things, all right? And yet you want us to comply with them with no problems. It doesn't work that way. Told you, you're making it more than what it really needs to be just to play a video game. It's ridiculous, but you want to blame the PSN hack. Whatever, man. You know what? We'll keep going. You know, because all you do is make excuses. I never heard Steam say something like that, but you know what? Let's keep going. EA says, now we talked about this a little bit before, that they're proud of Day 1 DLC, selling you guys Day 1 DLC, which, you know, becomes $80 game. And they go on to say, and I quote, "One key thing to boosting initial product revenue is selling digital content on the day of launch," Moore said. It says, "We sold Mass Effect 3 back in March. We saw a 40% attach rate that first week to DLC at GameStop in the United States." Oh, you mean the same GameStop that you blame for the used market killing your business, all your money? That same GameStop? Okay, we're going to keep going. He says, "Not only are you selling a $60 game, you're selling a $20 DLC, so the sale becomes $80. I told you guys before that this is what they do. They absolutely do this. They're trying to set a new standard when it comes to $80. We're seeing this right now, again, with Capcom, when they're trying to do this with Resident Evil, I believe. You have to be careful, all right? And we'll talk Capcom a little bit later, because we're going to talk Dragon's Dogma as well. But I need to move on. We also talked about this a little, was it last time? EA Origins Kickstarter. The reason I'm talking about this a little bit more now is because there's now details on how this went down, all right? So last time I talked, actually trashed EA for trying to do a Kickstarter. Well, now we have details on how it went down, and they're talking about how they got hundreds of people to actually give them money so they can put these things out there. You gotta be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. This is like EA doesn't have enough money and you're just giving them money, huh? Look, I'm telling you now, Kickstarter was something that seemed like it'd be good. What EA is doing is jumping on the wagon. That's what they're doing. They're trying to follow a trend and trying to get it as fast as possible so they can get to you guys. Now understand that you should know that there are always, we saw last time, there's some fraud plate things, and you don't have to, give them money if you don't want to. We saw this before, the percentage rate of success when it comes to Kickstarter. But EA as a large company has the money to do it. They don't need to kickstart. It's just horrible. It's horrible that they would just bastardize something that can be so good. You know what I mean? We can bring back a lot of games. We can resurrect a lot of new ideas, you know, or I'm sorry, resurrect old ideas and bring new ideas to the forefront with Kickstarter. But now they're trying to get their hands into it. It's horrible. Anyways, check this out. EA, their shares are the lowest since 1999, right? And now they're asking now, are they a takeover target? Now, we've heard a lot of rumors about companies trying to buy out EA now because of their shares being so low, because they've been hit so hard as of late, especially with the worst company in America. I told you before, those type of things, they affect their market value. So gamers, keep it up. You're doing the right thing. This is how you get to a company. If they don't want to listen to what you have to say, and I'm not talking about whining and anything, and we're going to talk about that later, all right? But legit complaints, and they ignore you, this is what you do. And you're doing the right thing, okay? Don't let anyone tell you differently when it comes to that. But we'll keep going, all right? I really don't think that EA is going to be bought out either. I'd be shocked if someone bought out EA. And if you buy out EA, really, you have to look at the details. You got to see who's going, who's staying, if they're going to change, you know, rules and practices and things of that nature. So if they do get bought out, just wait and see what happens. You know what I mean? So let's keep going. I'll talk about SimCity. We talked about, was it 2 weeks ago? And they came out a little bit more details. A small update. The reason they did DRM, always online DRM, this is their excuse. Everyone's connected all the time, so we felt like it would be fine. That's not a good enough excuse. And no, not everyone is connected all the time. See, that's the problem. You just try to, and then this is what really bothers me. Because just because a percentage of gamers, maybe even a large percentage of gamers, are connected all the time, it doesn't mean that all of them are. People should have to be, they should be able to play their game offline if they want. That's what it comes down to. They shouldn't have to be online if they don't want to. All right, you should give them that option, but you're taking it away from them, and that's the problem. Also, there's a nice article that you guys actually talked about. You talked about a lot in the comments when we talk about these type of things, and you always talk about how you're going to pirate their games and things of that nature, and this is what happens. It forces people to pirate. Well, there's an article now talking about DRM can really force people to use pirated games, and it also focuses on customer anger and things of that nature. So it's very interesting. Also, I want to talk about this Treyarch. They say that, Black Ops 2 doesn't need a new engine. Now, for those who play Modern Warfare, we've seen a lot of complaints from fans saying that, you know, it needed a new engine. Why are you still sticking with the same engine? This is horrible. You haven't done anything new. It's interesting that this comes up because remember, last year, Treyarch said when they saw Battlefield 3 that they said that they could use the Frostbite engine. They would need to upgrade their Frostbite engine. They said it was great. That was in 2011. Remember I showed the clip on a Hip Hop Gamer, the clip of Hip Hop Gamer, talking to them about it. And then I showed you the article. And remember when they said they would like to use it because it's a better engine than what they have? Activision made them pull the article. That was in 2011. So I'm going to put the other, the Hip Hop Gamer, the video, I'm going to put that back in the info bar for you guys. So to show you that Treyarch is going back on their word, all right? Because they wanted to upgrade, and now they're choosing not to and trying to say it's not a big deal. It's a big deal if you said it was a big deal, and now all of a sudden you're trying not to. You're being lazy. Now, I want to move on to more Activision news because for those who don't know, Activision conspired to hack Infinity Ward's emails. That's right. Apparently, Bobby Kotick conspired all this, all right? He was behind this, masterminding this. This is what they're doing, all right? Because as we all know, Activision Infinity Ward, they broke up and then they went on to become what? Respawn, right? New company. And now this is what they did. This is ridiculous. All this to make video games. See, this is how serious it's getting for companies that you got to hire hackers to get into other companies. It's getting serious. It's getting pathetic, if you ask me. But also, Activision responds to haters. Yes, haters. People who don't like, you know, not Modern Warfare, just Call of Duty games the way they're made these days. And the thing is, there are some haters that ask questions or just make statements, but there are a lot of consumers in the info bar that actually have legit things. And this is mostly about map packs and how much they cost. They don't like the cost and things of that nature. And pretty much their answer to them is, you know, don't buy the game then. That's their answer, don't buy the game. And I understand that answer, but you also have to understand they're in a business where you want to try to get as many people as possible to buy your game. I understand, we all know Call of Duty sells like hotcakes, okay? We know this. But the fact is, you can get more. And we know this. And without, you know, trying to nickel and dime people, you could get new customers if you would just sit and talk to them. You know what I mean? To clear the air. But they don't want to do that. I don't get it, guys. It just seems like they don't care these days. A lot of people don't know how to communicate with each other these days when it comes to the suits or the executives or the developers. and actual gamers. There's still a gap there, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later because we really need to get down to that. This has to stop. But until then, let's take a break, guys, because we'll show a video right now I have for you guys. Phantasy Star Online. That's right. Part 2, closed beta. Let's check it out. Not bad, and that's closed beta, so we don't know what the final product yet will look like, but that will be a free-to-play game. And also understand the reason it's edited this way is because the video itself was too long. It was like a 25-minute video, so what I'll do is I'll put the link in the info bar for you guys if you want to watch the entire thing, okay? Now I need to move on, because Minecraft, you guys had sent me a lot of messages about this, and you talked about in the comments as well, about how you bought Minecraft, and you wanted to use a split screen, but then you couldn't do it, and you want your refund for your money, and they wouldn't give it to you. Well, there's a nice article write-up about Minecraft owners being denied refunds for lack of split screen. So, just to let you guys know. Now, I need to talk about this because Kingdom Hearts, that's right, they're talking about it's time for Kingdom Hearts to come back to console. Now, I'll put it like this. It's been way too long. It's been way overdue. I'm sure a lot of us are waiting for a new console version of Kingdom Hearts. This has to be done as soon as possible. Now, we know that they've been coming out, the anniversary passed not too long ago, and all these, games where they were churning out and remastered things. They were talking about HDs and carrying on. We will see what happens. But Square right now has a lot on their plate, all right? We will see what happens. Hopefully, they get this done very soon, because Kingdom Hearts fans, I don't know how long they can last anymore waiting at this point, so let's move on. I have to talk about this. 2K Sports condones cheating, apparently, because for those who don't know, their baseball, 2K Baseball, as we all know, every year they have 2K Baseball, and then they have that $1 million prize. Well, 8 people were conspiring, apparently. They set it up where they cheated, and they get the $1 million. Apparently, they were all in on it. It's ridiculous at this point. And you know what, as far as I'm concerned as well, just to let you know, I keep saying this and I'll always say this. 2K, if your baseball game isn't that good, if you need a gimmick like win $1 million, you know, buy our game and try to win $1 million, you can take that $1 million and put it into your game so that it plays better, so that it performs better. I don't know why you keep doing this gimmick and trying to grab people to do it, all right? Because I'll put it like this besides. 2K Baseball is nowhere near MLB The Show. Nowhere near it. You need to fix your games. Anyways, speaking of MLB The Show, which is a Sony product, exclusive Sony product, Sony comes out, Jack Tretton comes out and says that used games, and talk about, you know, the PS4, we heard that, you know, Microsoft is going to block used, or try to block used games. That's the, you know, what they say. Sony says that Jack Tretton says used games block, the used games block is actually anti-consumer and that it won't be on the PS4. Now, it's pretty interesting that he would say that because now he's saying that he's for used games, but isn't that what the online pass is for, Jack Tretton, that Sony has? All right, is to stop used games. Isn't that what it is? Because you want a piece of the profit? Isn't that what it is? So for you to sit here and say that it's wrong, but then still have the pass, I don't believe you. You want to make a statement, drop your online pass. That's what it comes down to. Then I'll believe you, all right? But for you to come out and say that used games, the consumers deserve used games, but then you have online passes to negate that, you know, pretty much to counter it, it makes no sense. None whatsoever. And this is, say, you have to be very careful of what these guys do. I understand a lot of people love Jack Tretton, especially at E3 when he gets up on stage and talks, but that's his job. He's supposed to be slick, all right? He's supposed to act like he's your friend. That's what it comes down to because it's better business. Understand, they have to prove that they want to help you when it comes to used games. Like I said, make him step on his word. Make him step, like I said, don't let him backtrack. Let him step right on it and say, hey, drop you know, online passes then. That's how I see it. Prove it to us. But you know what? Let's move on. Sony again opens up a PSN digital download pre-orders. Hold up. We've talked about this before. Why are people pre-ordering digital downloads? We know in retail when you go and pre-order something, you get something, or it was to hold your copy. Okay? That's what it was for. To hold your copy, to ensure that it is there. If it's digital, it's not going anywhere. They're going to release it. I mean, are you going to pick apart the game and only give them a half a game digitally, and then when they pre-order it, give them the other part and say, this is your pre-order bonus? Is that what you're going to do? I would love to know exactly how this is going to work. All right? I don't trust it. I think it's ridiculous you would even have digital pre-orders to begin with. All right? But let's keep going. I want to talk about this. Kinect. We'll talk Microsoft real quick. Data captured by the Kinect. Now, we talked about this before, how the government wants to spy on you. Well, now we have more spying. Check this out. Data captured by the Kinect. Microsoft insists that you use it for, that it's used for advertising purposes. So the people who use this, they don't want to use it for advertising purposes. But the Kinect now, because Microsoft insisted, it has to do it. So when you're using Kinect, it's actually throwing ads at you. It's actually catching data, your personal data, and throwing ads at you. This is all this for a video game. All this for a video game. Like, see, it's almost like it doesn't matter anymore to them. They will try to find a way. We already know that you're going to get commercials, you know, and ads on Xbox Live, no matter, you know, how long you've been with them. Now, this is another way to get, you know, to sell you stuff. This is ridiculous. Anyways, Diablo 3. A lot of you guys sent me messages. There's been a ton of complaints about Diablo 3. I definitely understand why. For the things that have happened with Diablo 3, this is horrible. And we're going to get into this right now. All right, Diablo 3. So check it out. First off, if you buy Diablo 3, you get a sex toy. That's right. Link is in the info bar for you guys. All right, Diablo 3 also in-game ads for in-game purchases. Now, this article from Gamefront, they talk about this is where you should complain. All right, they say because it's unacceptable. All right, so now the media is trying to give you a reason to complain. They're saying it's okay. This is something you should complain about, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more because Blizzard apologizes for Diablo 3's launch and pushes back real money auction houses. Now, a lot of you guys know that when you pre-ordered your copy from the store game, and since they went bankrupt, you didn't get your money back. And now Blizzard is trying to, accommodate those people for losing, their money, and it's ridiculous. And I understand, but you have to understand that's how bankruptcy works. They'll just take your money and not give it back to you. That's exactly how it works. All right, but here's another thing. Blizzard says that they're undecided on Diablo 3 coming to consoles. Now, look, if you're going to have real money auction houses, you have always online DRM and things of that nature. Keep it on PC. I don't care. All right. There's way too many games coming out anyway on console when it comes to, you know, games like Diablo, at least for what I've seen. All right, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but just saying. And then you guys waited so long for Diablo 3, but now we have to talk the meat and potatoes of Diablo 3, which is their EULAs. Now, a gamer sent me this, and it's absolutely crazy of what's going on when it comes to Diablo 3 and all the rules that are in place for this before you even play your game, okay? So let's talk about this. It says, hi, always online internet connection. It says, for the record, I agree with you, talking to me, all right? It says, you want to talk about Blizzard eroding game ownership? You can start and finish with the EULAs. It says plural for Diablo 3. It says cue everyone scrolling past this post, of course. It says, or likely scrolled over the EULA. Now, mind you, when you see that type of terms of service things, people scroll by, hit the accept button, and keep on going. Am I correct? Okay. Now, like I said, you have to start reading these things. It says, these binding contracts, which you agree to when you scroll over them to activate the game, are the single worst erosion of your ownership of something you've purchased you could have ever dreamed of. It says, for starters, you never have or never can own Diablo 3. It says ever. Even if you quick scrollers ought to have noticed, it says this software, in capitals, this software is licensed, not sold. Meaning you're pretty much renting it at this point. It's not sold. So even though you bought it, they're saying they didn't sell it. That's what they're saying. All right? It says, know what that means? It says Blizzard may terminate this agreement at any time for any reason or no reason. Understand that? It says, upon termination, all licenses granted herein shall, immediately terminate, and you must promptly remove the game from your hard drive. Okay? It says, it's neat that Blizz can just flush the $60 game that you license from them for no reason if they want. It says, but don't worry, it's fair because you can too if you contact them. Okay? It says, but also, it says, don't forget, you're in violation of the agreement by not reading and understanding it prior to playing. They already have a cause to terminate your license. It says this is at least in the Battle.net agreement. It says not rechecking the D3 agreement to see. This funny story. By not reading and understanding the agreement, if you don't read it, it says you already agreed that because of it, you caused irreparable harm to Blizzard. That's right. It says, so you have to pay for their damages. You have to pay for their damages. It says, for violation of the license. So if you don't read the terms of service, the EULA, you automatically have to pay them. Okay? Let's keep going. It says, what damages you might ask? It says, sorry, they don't have to prove those. It says, and therefore, you agree that Blizzard shall be entitled, without bond, other security, or proof of damages to appropriate equitable remedies with respect to breaches of this license agreement, in addition to such other remedies as Blizzard may otherwise have available to it under applicable laws. All right? Now it says, don't forget that your boilerplate gave up you the right to sue. That's right. You can't sue them. It says, and any election to arbitrate by one party shall be final and binding on the other. It says, you understand that absent this provision, you would have the right to sue in court and have a jury trial. It says, the nice part is that they agree to pay all the costs of arbitration if such costs are determined by the arbitrator to be excessive. It says, oh yeah, and you can't join a class action lawsuit. You can only sue Blizzard in your individual capacity. Although I'm not really, it says, although I'm not sure you'd sue them for. Yeah, really, what would you sue them for? It says, but did you catch this gem? And this is in capital letters. When running, the game may monitor your computer's random access memory, it says RAM, for unauthorized third-party programs running concurrently with the game. It says, in the event that the game detects an unauthorized third-party program, the game may communicate information back to Blizzard, including, without limitation, your account name, details about the unauthorized third-party program detected, and the time and date, and or exercise any or all of its rights under this agreement with or without prior notice to the user. So they can spy on you without you even giving any type of, authorization. They can see everything in your computer, even if you're running a third-party program that's unlicensed or unauthorized that has nothing to do with their video game or anything. They can catch it. And 9 times out of 10, if they see that, they're going to do something about it. Now, Here's something else. It says, it's in all caps because it's fucking you over. Seriously. You just told Blizzard that you are totally cool with them monitoring and transmitting information about what is currently stored on your RAM. You want to know what that monitoring is? It says, use any unauthorized third-party software that intercepts, mines, or otherwise collects information from or through the game or the service. It says, including, without limitation, any software that reads areas of RAM used to the game to store information. It says, but wait, we're not done. It says, you insta-scroll through the 3 agreements. The last one is the most interesting, the real money auction house. All right, it says terms of use. Sit tight because you'll love this shit. That's what it says. First, let's get this out the way. You don't own anything you buy from the real money auction house, okay? It says, any license to use virtual goods, loot, you purchase and sell through the auction house is provided to you by Blizzard Entertainment. It says, who would be your contracting partner hereunder. It says, don't believe me? It says, ownership of loot. You agree that, A, Blizzard has the right to sell, has the right to use all the loot as well as all the characters and content that appears on Diablo. Okay, it says B, you don't own any of the loot, characters, or content or other content that appears in Diablo, and you and that you have no right or title in any of the loot other than the license or any loot granted to you by Blizzard, which can be revoked by Blizzard at any time. It says Diablo or your Battle.net account. C, it says you are not allowed to sell, trade, or somehow transfer loot, characters, or any other Diablo content outside of Diablo or the auction house. It says, isn't that cute? You're buying a license to loot. It says that essentially what you paid $60 for when you bought Diablo 3. It says, and Blizzard can still take away that at any time. It says for no reason, and you literally cannot do anything about it. It says now, since you don't own any of this loot, you really can't sue Blizzard for it, because even if you could, and in capitals, it says, in no case shall the liability of Blizzard exceed the amount that you paid to Blizzard during the month prior to the time your cause of action arose. It says, burn on you, because that's probably nothing, since there's no subscriptions for Diablo 3, and you're upset that Blizzard is robbing your ownership by making you always connect to the internet. It says, how cute. This is the bullshit that you should be pissed off about. And it's very well said, and I'm happy that that's in there. And guys, I've put the EULA in the info bar for you so that you can read it to see just all the things that happen when you buy a game. Understand, guys, that you own nothing with that game. They can terminate at any time. So you have to read these things. You have to. Now that they're putting in these clauses that if you don't read it, you have to pay them, yeah, there's a problem. There's a huge problem with that. But I want to talk a little bit more, you know, since I'm big bad guy giving you this information, I'm being a big bad guy. And you know, like I said before, one guy had told me not too long ago that the Filipino people, the community, don't like me, you know, because of what happened last week. And I put it like this: first off, it's not all the Filipino community. It's only a couple idiots who support a boxer, even though I support the Filipino community and said that they have a lot of problems in their government, you know, and that they need aid and help, but apparently they just ignored that, you know what I mean? But to show you how the Filipino community, because a lot of them came to my, you know, to my defense, to show you how the Filipino community actually doesn't hate me, one Filipino gamer actually sent me a video. That's right, because he said he wanted to do it just to show, you know, to send to me personally on the show, so I can show you guys, to show you exactly how they live when it comes to video games and how their arcades look out there. So let's check that out real quick.
So, everyone, it's me, Sage. This is Quantum here in the Philippines. Well, arcades are very much alive here. So, let's get started first here. Excuse us, as you can see, well, we have driving games like anime. We also have Mario Kart. And, oh yeah, over here we have Crazy Taxi. Anyone remember this from Sega? Yeah. Anyway, we also have let's go jungle over here. It's like a shooting game with it's like compatibility. It's extra compatibility and 2 players. Alright. We have more racing games over here that's not much people play. Or these are deactivated. No. Another motorcycle racing game. No idea. There's that. Over here, we have people playing basketball games. We also have, surprise, Time Crisis. But it's deactivated right now. We have House of the Dead, the first one, as you can see. Yeah. I used to go Dante in this game. It's the first game I played with someone. We have Time Crisis 4. No one's playing it right now. Time Crisis 3. Oh, wait. And this one, I think you guys will love. Rambo. Can you believe it? Pretty cool, huh? We have this other game called Ghost Squad. Another shooter, 2-player, or Wolf and whatnot. And we have those snowball games that people not very interesting. Oh, we also have Jurassic Park, Lost World. It's not active right now though. We have arcade games here, fighting games, FPC. People play a lot of Tekken here. Very popular here in the Philippines. Capcom versus SNK, Marvel Superheroes. Anyone remember this? Tekken 5. Popular. Here we have one of the more popular. We have this sort of like horse racing and rock and
Thank you for sending me that video, and people, that's what arcades are about. And we talked about this before, how it's not just, oh, you just have fighting games and that's it. No, that's not an arcade, all right? You have to have a variety of games. That's what brings people out. You see how social that place was? That's an arcade. And that's, you know, and some of those games I would like to try, especially that one with the, it was like Dance Dance Revolution, but you actually had to use your hands. That'd be pretty interesting to see how that works. I'm just saying myself, just to, you know, get the experience. But I love to see that. It was great. Thank you once again for showing it. Now, guys, I need to move on because we need to talk about one Capcom. That's right. For those who don't know, there's already talk. Lost Planet X Troopers, this is going to piss some of you guys off, are reusing assets from Mega Man Legends 3. That's right. The same Mega Man Legends 3 that was canceled. And now they're reusing it. So you know what? I'll let you be the judge on this one. And I'll play the trailer real quick so you can see this. I am seeing a lot of similarities to that, you know what, and there's been a lot of gamers everywhere on the internet who have said the same thing, and Capcom, tell me this isn't true. Tell me you are not reusing some of these things, because I put it like this. If you are, you just pissed off, or I should say pissed on actually, Mega Man Legends 3 fans, the ones that tried to help that game become successful, who put in hard work with the developers to try to make it successful. You just pissed all over them. Tell me you did not just do this. I mean, if it's true, man, you just opened up the gates to even make things worse when it comes to you, between the connection between you and customers. I'm just saying. All right, now I want to move on because Capcom admits that there's on-disc DLC for Dragon's Dogma. But before we get started, I want to talk about this whole Capcom DLC thing. You guys have sent me a lot of messages and, you know, saying, hey, are they going to stop DLC? No, they will never stop DLC, all right? It's just their approach to it they're going to stop. That's all they're going to do. Now, understand, they're still going to milk you nickel and dime you. They're just going to find a different way about it. That's all it is. Also understand that they've already said there are games that are already in production that will still have on-disc DLC. That's right, starting with Dragon's Dogma. Now, before we get started with Dragon's Dogma, I want to say, understand, guys, that this on-disc DLC for Capcom isn't going to stop anytime soon. There's going to be a number of titles that come out in the future that will have it, okay? But Dragon's Dogma will have, this first DLC will have 100 side quests. 100. That's on the disc. That's on the disc. It's already done. Now, mind you, these are just unlock codes. So we all know that you can easily, you know, just remove the unlock code, but they don't want to do that, okay? That's what this comes down to. But this is what one person said on the forum. It says basically, when people asked why the content on Street Fighter vs. Tekken, when they found out that was on disc lock DLC, was locked on disc, they pretty much undone their excuse that, remember, it was to make users compatible with one another when someone downloaded the DLC. Remember, that was their excuse for Street Fighter vs. Tekken. It said it made that excuse null and void since Dragon's Dogma is predominantly an offline game. All right? It says, well done, Capcom, caught in another lie. Once again, they just, like I said, if you're going to lie, be consistent. All right? And you're just not consistent. They gave you an excuse on why it was, you know, for Street Fighter vs. Tekken. Now it's a completely different thing. Guys, you have to wake up to this. You have to see that these companies, man. But when I say things like this, I'm the crazy one. How is that possible? But you know what? Let's keep going. Because Capcom blames the market saturation for sluggish sales for Street Fighter vs. Tekken. Yeah, all right? All right, I'll put it like this. Capcom, you've added to that market saturation. You have. How many games did you come up? What did I say before? If you gave your fighting games a chance to breathe, it could have been more successful. But instead, you keep churning them out, and you know, and before you know it, every couple months there's a new fighting game. You're killing the community, the fighting community themselves, because they're getting burned out. You have to give them time. But that's not all. No, no, no. As we knew, I told you before, we talked about this 2 weeks ago about this patch coming out, right, for Street Fighter vs. Tekken. And I said it was going to make things worse because you're not taking your time making the game. Am I correct? And some of you guys came out and said, you know, oh, well, they're just trying to fix it. And I said they should fix it from the beginning. There was no need to come out with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and then a couple months later come out with Street Fighter vs. Tekken. There was no reason to bring them out so close to each other. No reason. They should have took their time. Well, now they've come out with a patch to, you know, to patch those problems, and now they've created more problems with the patch, which is game-breaking, freezing glitches. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, let's run the video so we can watch the glitches.
madness begin! Fight! Hadouken! Hadouken! Attack! Hadouken! 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 Attack! Hadouken!
Absolutely ridiculous. Capcom, just take your time. Now look, they said that they're going to fix that problem. They're going to, bring out another patch. But you have to understand, if you took your time to begin with, how do you even let something like this slide? Seriously, I don't understand this. But you know what? I'm going to keep going about this because one gamer says, hope no one constantly uses the glitch because it'll affect the console itself due to hard drive resets. And it's true. When you hard reset your console, it's pretty much like throwing fire on it. And if you keep constantly resetting it, you will kill your console. That's what happens, all right? If you don't believe me, ask those guys who played DC Universal Online in the beta stage and kept resetting their console, and guess what? Killed their console. It's ridiculous. All right, that's what it comes down to. But Capcom, again, considers drastic changes for Street Fighter vs. Tekken and already are talking about Darkstalkers. Now look, why are you talking about Darkstalkers if you can't even fix the game before that? I don't understand that. See, this is what I mean about smothering and killing and, as they put it, saturating the market. They're doing it themselves, so they have to take responsibility as well, okay? But what I'm saying is, fighting game community fans, you have to step up. You have to understand it's pretty much like your game, you're $60, you're paying $60 to game test. That's what you're doing right now, all right? Because they keep constantly making changes. And one person said on the forum, it says, that's a lot of balance that needs to be done. Because like I said, the link is in the info bar so you can see what they're talking about when it comes to the changes, all right? It says, that's a lot of balance that needs to be done. It'll be like a whole new game. It says, I'm starting to think that that will be a whole excuse for Street Fighter vs. Tekken 2. Now, I don't think they're going to make a part 2, but stranger things have happened, okay? But I have to understand that this is going to become a problem. And you guys should be mad by now. I mean, aren't you tired of having the patch after patch after patch after patch? Aren't you tired of doing that? I mean, seriously. But let's keep going. Capcom says they will fix Street Fighter vs. Tekken on PC eventually. Eventually. All right, so PC fans, I guess you'll just have to sit tight because they'll eventually fix it. You gotta be kidding me, man. And, oh, more Capcom news. This is just sickening. All right, you guys sent me this a lot. Apparently, a developer in Capcom, they harassed her so much, there was so much bullying inside the company that she attempted suicide. Yes, she attempted suicide. Now, look, we saw something like this with Konami not too long ago, where they just ignored the guy's mental health and he ended up killing himself. All right, but she attempted suicide because of all the bullying going on. Guys, understand these companies. And I'm not trying to hear every company does it. They don't. All right? You don't know how to treat your employees, then you know what? There's something wrong with your management. We've been saying this for a while now. There's something wrong with your management. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, you know, Vent, what would you do if you ran Capcom? How would you change things? You know, I'm getting a lot of questions like that as of late. And you know what? Maybe I'll have to do a standalone video about it, just answering your questions about it. Okay? I don't, maybe next week or something, I don't know. But I'll figure it out, all right? And just answer your questions on it. But this is getting out of hand. All this to make video games. We already know the stresses of game programmers and designers, and we've seen it time and time again where they will spend 16, 18 hours a day, you know, designing these games because these companies just push them. You know what I mean? The human body can only take but so much. They can only take but so much. I'm not trying to hear she's whining or crying or she's emo. I'm not trying to hear any of that crap, all right? She's doing her job, and they keep pressing her and bullying her, and I'll put it like this. She would rather kill herself. I guess it's one of those death before dishonor things. You know, you don't quit, but you'd rather kill yourself. It's sad. It really is. And Capcom should be ashamed of themselves. And if you can't see right then and there that what Capcom is all about right now, and you still support their games, you know, as long as you get your game, that's ridiculous. You know, human lives are pretty much being, you know, dispersed at will, you know, because of all the pressure. It's ridiculous. If you think that's okay, you have no soul. There is something wrong with you. There's seriously something wrong with you. But I need to move on about companies. Because for those who don't know, 38 Studios, that's right, we're going to talk about that. 38 Studios is having problems, and they need money. So the studio's owner, retired baseball pitcher Curt Schilling, that's right, is asking for a company bailout, right? So he goes for a company bailout. Now here's the thing. The link is going to be in the info bar for you guys. For years, Curt Schilling fought against company bailouts. All right? Said it was wrong, said it was evil, you shouldn't bail him out. Now he's asking for one. It just goes to show you guys that when push comes to shove, these guys fold. They go back on their word. It just goes to show you. Okay, guys? Now, I want to talk about this as well because 38 Studios received a $75 million taxpayer-backed loan. You have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. That's just ridiculous. And you know what? We're going to talk a little bit more in a minute about bad people. Okay? Because even though, like I said, I was the bad guy last week, that's fine. But now I'm going to show you a real bad guy. And you know what? I'm going to get into this. I'm going to pick this back up. All right? But I really need to get into this. And we're going to talk about one, Michael Pachter. So let's hear what he has to say about you gamers and calling you whiners. Yeah, let's hear that.
Buddha 122. Hey, Mr. P. So what's the difference between whining and complaining? Wow, what a question. I'm happy to answer it though. As consumers, do we not have the right to complain about poor services and poor products? Or is there some difference in the gaming industry? Wow, what a question.
How is that a dumb question? It's a legit question because we've seen in the past publishers and developers act as if they're above the law to regular business practices or the consequences to their sleazy, their sleazy tactics. And the first thing you do, your first reaction is to insult the guy? I thought you were an adult.
Okay, so I'll give you an answer. Whining is annoying. Rohan, please put a graphic up. Show the dictionary definition of whining. It's just, whining is what little babies do. Little babies who can't complain intelligently. Complaining typically is respectful, thoughtful, has a basis. I don't like my hamburger. It's undercooked. Could you please take it from rare to medium? That's a complaint. Whining is, wah, you suck. I hate you. I hate everything about this place, without explaining why. If you give the party who has aggrieved you an opportunity to remedy the situation, you are merely complaining. If you sit there and whine about it and whine mercilessly, then no.
But gamers have complained properly. That's what you're not understanding. They have done it via text, they get on the phone and call them, they even do videos to give them examples of what they speak of. It gives them more leverage and validity. But when they do give the chance, for the party that has aggrieved them, the opportunity to remedy the situation, they are either ignored, they are either silenced via ban, they have their videos taken down, or they're insulted.
Can you imagine going into a restaurant and your water glass remains empty for 15 seconds after you finish it, and then you go out and tell everybody to boycott the restaurant? That's a whiner. A complainer waves at the waiter or the busboy and points at the water glass and gets it refilled. That's a complaint, believe it or not, because it's not filled timely, but you're not going to go out and commit suicide because your water glass wasn't refilled.
It's obvious that you don't respect or know how to communicate with people. If you are waving a waiter down and all you're doing is this and without saying anything to him, you're an arrogant douche, all right? Because you act like you're trying to rule somebody. I put it like this. You should be waving a waiter down and asking them nicely for a refill out of respect to them as a person. That's why. And for you to bring up suicide over product concerns from consumers, you know what? That is grossly over dramatic as far as I'm concerned. It's extreme wordplay, all right, for you to try and belittle people. That's what you're doing. You're belittling people because they don't share your narrow perspective. You should try harder.
So I respect anybody's right to say, I didn't receive the value I negotiated when I bought this product. I do not respect people who say, wah, I did the ending of Mass Effect disappointed me. We're going to boycott Electronic Arts and vote them worst company in America. You're whiners. Let's go to the Federal Trade Commission. That's a whiner. Let's go to the government and get them involved. Whiner. Get over yourselves. Jesus. It's just not the end of the earth, okay?
But the people saying they didn't like the ending of Mass Effect 3 are saying they didn't receive the value that they paid for. Weren't you understanding? And negotiation, I didn't see any of them at the negotiation table, all right, when pricing was made. No, it was take it or leave it. It was stronghold. And for people who didn't buy it, they had to hear, all the peer pressure that came towards them on why you didn't buy it or it's on you. That's what they had to hear the entire time, on top of the paid trolling. But let's get something straight. You want to talk about all this whining and boycotts, you have to understand, because the complaining fell on deaf ears, all right, they went over the company's head. That's what they did, okay? So they went to the Better Business Bureau, the FTC or whatever, and guess what? That's what they're there for. That's why they exist. And you're just mad. It just sounds like you're just mad, all right? Financial analysts to the companies, that's what it comes down to. You're mad because, that consumers, they're fighting back now. And they're not taking it laying down. And all you have left are insults and overdramatic comparisons. That's what you have left, which doesn't rectify the situation.
Yes, to answer your second question, as consumers, you absolutely have the right to complain about poor services and poor products. You should complain. That will make them better. There is no difference in the gaming industry as far as your right to complain. There is a difference in the gaming industry as far as whiners go. I'd say whiners are at least 100-fold as prevalent in the gaming industry as in any other industry. Now, again, I want to correct one misperception. I did not call all gamers whiners. 1, 2, 3% of gamers are whiners, probably something like that. Single-digit percentage. But remember, there are 200 million gamers out there. So it's 2, 4, or 6 million people are whiners. Yes, I did call those guys whiners. Absolutely they suck.
And that's what gamers did. They came up with legit complaints. And then you tell us there's no difference in the gaming industry. So that means they need to start acting accordingly if they're going to get better. But what kills me is that you try to come up with this BS stat or percentage on gamers and whiners without showing any proof. I want to see some proof. Like, why do people listen to this guy? Why do you follow him? You have to be kidding me. This is a joke as far as I'm concerned. And I put it like this. This guy has no idea what he's talking about.
Dear Mr. Pachter, do you think Star Wars The Old Republic will ever go free-to-play? I certainly think you'll see EA emulate what we saw with World of Warcraft, where the first 20 levels are free-to-play. I don't know that they'll go free-to-play because of the license. So the conversion to pure free-to-play, it's not clear that they're going to make more money. Even the most successful free-to-play game that I've heard of, Western free-to-play game, which is League of Legends, I heard that they did something like $40 million in revenue in the most recent month. So they're at a $500 million revenue run rate. You know, World of Warcraft is doing 2x that. If Star Wars Old Republic thought they could do $500 million a year, I think they might consider it. But I'm not sure that they would be as popular as League of Legends.
Are you serious? So Star Wars isn't as popular as League of Legends. Let's get something straight. If Star Wars went free to play, all right, with the fan base that it has since the 80s, with all the merchandising and everything, you gonna tell me it wouldn't be as popular as League of Legends? Are you serious? This dude don't know what he's talking about. And let's get something straight about free to play, all right? It's already been confirmed. I've done this so many times. It's already been confirmed that it makes more money than pay to play. So obviously, he's not doing his research. I'm telling you guys before, this dude is nothing but Jack Thompson in sheep's clothing, all right? It's to push his profile to make him famous. That's all it is. He's exploiting you and something you love. That's all it is. You know what? Let's hear it from the horse's mouth himself that it's only about him.
If you have a question for me, please submit them at the link below or directly to me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. If you follow me, I will answer them directly. If you don't follow me, I won't answer them.
It's all about him instead of trying to bridge the gap between consumers and executives. You understand that, right? Why would you listen to what a financial analyst has to say about gamers he doesn't know? This is pathetic. You know what? I'm still waiting to see those charts and those stats of where he got those numbers for whiners. I want to know. All right. You know, until then, he has nothing else to say. It's pathetic. It's sad that game trailers would even sponsor this guy. You know, I mean, you have to be kidding me. People, stop listening to him. He has no idea what he's talking about, and you can see exactly who he's for. It's that simple. Now I'm going to move on. All right, that was way too easy. Way too easy. I have one more thing to talk to you guys about before I end the show. Guys got back to me about an organization for a 2K football game. All right, so listen up real quick. It says, the weight of another football game is in your hands. 8/28/2012, when Madden 13 drops their trash, I want to have a 2K day, where fans of the new 2K football game will show up at Take-Two's interactive office to demand a new game. Since we only have 2.5 months at the very least, I want to drop off a load of letters at 2K off that day. It says, please hit me back up, and you will do the community that favor. And tell people to send letters to Wake Your Ass Up, P.O. Box 7448, Freeport, New York 11520. Okay, guys? It says people have to mention that they are willing to buy a 2K football game with or without the NFL license, so that Take-Two will have less doubt about the game selling well. And that's what it comes down to. I've talked about it before. I did that, that sports video before, that standalone video game sports video. You can sell a game without having the NFL license, especially if you do something like EA's Be a Player mode. I'm just saying. Anyways, guys, now I'm done. It's been a good week so far, start of the week, but we'll see what happens. Right now, this is just too easy, man. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.